What else have people been talking about?
Another Bond movie?
Yeah!
Another one.
You don't sound excited.
Well, we've got Homeland now. We don't need Bond anymore.
You've got Homeland, we
Yeah.
don't need Bond?
Yeah. Homeland's way better than the Bond movies.
What are you saying?
I don't know. I went to see one. I went to see Casino Royale because they build it as it's nothing like a Bond film. It's totally different. And it was just another Bond film.
What was a Bond film?
Yeah, I know.
If your issue with a Bond film is, it's just a Bond film.
These ones, oh, it's darker and grittier. Oh. It'd be darker if he had to get Ryanair flights everywhere. Bond kneeling beside the check-in desk, stuffing underwear in his pockets.
Judi Dench for the premiere had 007 in Diamantes on her neck. And not a lot of people know she had a vajazzle. That's how you could hear her coming. She was sort of crunching down the road.
Well, thanks for putting that image in my head. Do you want to take a look at the adrenaline-filled trailer for the unashamedly stylish Bond? You want to have a look?
Yeah. It does look good.
Pretty good. In this one, he drinks Heineken, not martinis. That's the big sort of fuss has been made about the product placement.
There's one scene, though, where he has to punch a woman and he switches to Stella.
I've never understood product placement for adults. Like, in children's films, I can understand it, because children just go, oh, I want that on a lunchbox. But, like, are they implying that men are going to go to a pub and think, well, I don't usually drink Heineken, but if I have a pint now, everyone will think I'm James Bond.
Do you want to see a bit more Bond? Yeah. Let's have a little look. Wait for the next train.
You know why? He had a cheap day return. He's like, shit, I can't miss that train. I'll have to pay more.
Yeah, because when he lands on the train there at the end, he's like effortlessly cool, whereas you would have been a bit more.
Oh, I would have spun and gone, I'm here!
You would make an amazing Bond.
I would, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I could spin on the train and...
My tip for a film, if you're making a film and you get a theme tune, get someone to sing the theme tune who can pronounce some of the words that are in the theme tune.
What's your issue with the theme tune?
She cannot speak.
Is this Adele? Lovely Adele. I won't have a word said against her.
Adele, or as I'm sure she says it, Adele. The first 3 times I heard it, I thought it was a song about scaffold. Scaffold.
I like the fact that Adele sung the theme tune, I like it. You know, the opening titles of Bond you always see through the barrel of a gun. I now imagine it's a tube of Pringles.
Oh. Poor Adele, if you're watching, put those down.
I put forward a Bond theme and they didn't go for it.
Well, that's a shame. What was yours?
Bond on a bike, Bond on a boat. Bond with his hands around a villain's throat. Skyfall, Skyfall. Bond on a bike, Bond on a Skyfall, Skyfall. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey!
Is that the best dance routine, do you think, Louis?
Well, that's playing the piano.
I quite like that, and I would have put a head roll at the end.
Let's try again.
Bond on a bike, Bond on a bike, Bond on a man, and round it. Right, then.
Well, so let's have a look and see if Bond is up there. Yes, the new James Bond film, Skyfall, was released last Friday. In the next Bond film, Daniel Craig will face his ultimate nemesis, a younger, cheaper actor. GDP has grown by 1% in the third quarter of this year.
Most people don't even know what GDP is.
What?
Do you know what GDP is?
Oh, sure.
What is it?
Well, gross domestic product.
Yeah, but what is that? What is...
Well, the gross domestic product.
Yeah, what is
it's like the things that we make in houses that are disgusting.
It is a coincidence, isn't it, that someone started paying tax again and the country's out of recession.
You're welcome.
The next
is Face Off. We've got 6 well-known Big Brother contestants here in the studio. Nadia, Jade, Shabazz, Eugene, Jane and Mikey. OK. We asked the public which of these housemates would make the best James Bond.
Nadia, master of disguise.
You know, I have to say, my dream come true would be to be a baddie in a James Bond movie, so I can take it. I would love to be.
Octopussy. Octococky. Eugene's your gadget, man, isn't he?
Now, Eugene's Q, he's not Bond.
Oh, yeah, he'd be like, see this? It looks like a machine gun, but actually, it's a radio.
This is an atomic watch, but when you turn it off, it tells the time.
What are you going to go for, Dave?
Let's go Jane. Well, there's only one who looks a bit like a James Bond, isn't there? Mikey looks like James Bond, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You never
You're
know,
going
do you?
with Mikey. OK,
Yeah.
fine. Who would you go with?
We'd go for Eugene, I think, Jimmy. I think he would make a less than adequate Bond, which is the best that we can hope for.
Would you kill for your country?
Yeah.
I would. The only problem, I'd probably be late.
Why would you be late?
My timekeeping's appalling.
You've got an atomic watch, man!
Well, I can tell you that you're right. The housemate people thought would make the best Bond is Eugene. Fingers on buzzers, what else of the nation are we talking about?
Is it the James Bond film that's premiered today or tomorrow or yesterday?
Friday.
Let's not fall out over it. We're not invited. There's no gadgets in this one, is there?
No,
There's not many gadgets.
They're ripping off
the Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
The Bourne Identity did it! It's James Bond. He should have an umbrella coming out of his ass. It's sickening.
Nikki, are you looking forward to the Bond movie?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm not a big Daniel Craig fan.
You're not?
No, I think Bonds just shouldn't be blonde.
You shouldn't be blonde.
I see Bonds as being a bit more dark-haired and a bit more rugged.
A bit more dark hair, a bit more rugged.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Daniel Craig's from Liverpool. Well, he grew up on the Wirral, didn't he? I think, and he's lost that accent. Don't you think that would make a better Bond? The name's Bond, James Bond. Fucking Smirnoff Ice, you prick.
Let's have a look and see whether the new James Bond movie is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the new James Bond film is out this week. Every woman wants him, every man wants to be him, with his steely eyes, incredible physique and his chisel features. It's impossible not to look at Sean Locke and think, this guy should be Bond.
You're probably right.
Daniel Craig got a gash on his face whilst filming. I suppose that's one of the perks of being Bond, isn't it?
Oh, my hero.
Shut up, Tricia! I've said that so many times to the TV, it felt totally different in person.
I've had this heat wave, had an official heat wave, or as one daily paper said, killer heat. Killer heat. But luckily enough, they print these tips and advice inside the papers. Thank God. Because we'd never think of stuff like that, would we? Drink water. Just all those, drink water. That's why I'm thirsty. It's something to do with the heat.
These weather warnings, they're stupid, aren't they? Come on, they say today, weather warning. It's hot. Look outside. But then, to be fair, they said it's for the vulnerable people. It's for babies and it's for old people. So I'd like to, if I can, do a weather warning for my nana. Take your f***ing coat off. 4 degrees, love.
Why is hot weather such an excuse for such execrable clothes?
Well, not everyone looks crap in a bikini, Tricia.
Sorry, what was that?
That's when because he was being a moose.
He was being a moose.
No, moose is that Is it the Geordie woman who recovered from a stroke only to get a Jamaican accent?
It is a brilliant story.
Yeah. I don't think it's a major problem for her. You know, she goes on with life. Every now and again she goes, bung, bung, diddly, diddly, woo. Apart from that, it hasn't been a major problem.
There might be a woman in Jamaica waking up today going, why I?
It could be a lot worse. She could have an Australian accent, couldn't she? That would be terrible. That's Australia with that rising inflection all the time. Going, I'm going down the shops. I was in Sydney about a year ago and I heard someone actually sneeze with a rising inflection.
Oh, my God.
It's like, Robin, achoo?
I love Australia. I was there about a couple years ago. I was there, I was watching my career go down the drain in the opposite direction.
One of the things we have on our show a lot of the times, I go up to somebody in the audience who's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and then they start talking like that, in it, man, you know, wicked. And I said to this guy once, I said, why are you talking like that? I'm black and I'm not bloody talking like that. What the hell are you talking like that for? He was giving his view and said, you know, bring it on, in it.
Is this? Oh, were you saying in it or?
No, they say in it.
They say in it. In it.
You could not cut it in the ghetto, Jimmy.
I couldn't cut it in the ghetto?
You could not cut it in the ghetto.
Get out of my face. 30% of millionaires are worried about what?
Robin Hood and his merry men.
Helping their new wives with their homework.
Is it the admiring glances of Heather McCartney?
You're kind of close with that, in a funny sort of way. It's security related.
That their partner is a security guard.
Tell you the answer. 30% of millionaires are worried about being stalked.
What's that got to do with Heather McCartney?
Stalked. He's a f***ing stalker.
Well, she's only got one leg, but that couldn't call her stalking.
Every week, 4,000 Britons are hospitalised through DIY accidents. Is that true or false?
I've never met anyone who's been involved in a DIY accident or even heard a story about someone who's been involved in a DIY accident.
Yeah, but you move in the right circles to hear the DIY stories.
I've built stuff.
Yeah?
What have you built?
Nothing.
God help the woman who marries you.
Why?
Because you don't... What do you do then?
I'm an attractive prospect, Tricia.
Are you good around the house, Emo?
No, my light bulb burns out, I sell the house and move.
I bet Dave does DIY. You look kind of a
No,
DIY.
I don't, and I think that's probably, you know, people do get hospitalised because men are generally at DIY. The ones who are good at DIY do it for a living, basically.
Why are men on this planet? If you
All right,
cannot put out
Tricia,
the rubbish
okay,
into DIY,
okay.
why are you here?
Bridges, roads, hospitals, everything you can think of that's ever been invented.
Western civilization, in short.
But Sean, if we don't give you a little bit of how's your father, never mind about building...
How's your father? How is it way back there in the 50s?
I'm trying to be polite on the television. All right,
Have you seen your show?
Never mind building civilisations. You can't last 2 days without a bit of sex.
Listen, you shelf hooer. You're putting out... Is your house just covered in shelves? My husband's going, it's brilliant. Every time I put one out, she puts up.
He can't. He can do a bit of deal.
Can he?
Yeah.
I bet his shed's fantastic.
His shed is great.
He's got an amazing shed at the garden.
Yeah.
With a combination lock on there, a drawbridge, everything. I'm in the shed, he's got a gun turret. No! I'm in the shed! Yeah, just stuff!
64% of men believe they have a higher pain threshold than women. Is that true or false?
You don't get colds, do you? You get the flu.
Yeah, but that's not pain, is it? Pain's like getting your dick caught in your flies. That's real pain.
No, real pain is giving birth. It's like, as Diana Ross once told me, it's like in a fridge.
That's what I read in Cosmopolitan. I was in some doctor's surgery. It said the most painful thing that a woman can have done is have the nipples clamped. And I thought, no, having them towed away has got to be worse. But I think, actually, having said all that, women do have a higher pain threshold because they go through all sorts of stuff just to feel and look good. It is all painful stuff you put yourself through just to attract, well, just to look good and feel good. And for us,
You were going to say attract men,
well,
weren't you?
in a way, yeah, in a way. But, I mean, there's a bloke in Lee this week got arrested for shagging a frozen turkey, so, you know what I mean? It's like...
So we're wasting our time, is that what you're saying?
Tricia, you're in a really bad mood tonight, aren't you?
Well, just
questioning everything.
Because I'm the only girl here. No, I'm not. Alex is the other girl.
Do you have a pop at our little Alex?
No, Alex is more of a girl than I am. He's all sweet.
Why would you say I was a girl?
But you're sort of, I can't do it.
Is that your impression of me?
You're sort of...
Are you sitting there doing an impression of me?
Are you sitting there doing a... No, you're all sort of delicate.
I can be fairly rugged.
Go on, then.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Let's have some ruggedness.
Yeah,
All right,
let's do rugged.
So anyway, I was watching the football. Yeah? I don't know if I can pull it off. Really?
Yeah, just push me. Just a push.
Hang on. Yeah.
Oh, my hero.
Shut up, Tricia. I've said that so many times to the TV, it felt totally different in person.
Most annoying thing about restaurants.
I went to a restaurant and the waitress was on crutches. And she brought the bread rolls in her mouth. Just gonna go and get the soup.
I was in a restaurant and I dropped a fork on the floor and they gave me a new fork. So I dropped the napkin just to test it out and they give me a new napkin. So I pushed my ex-wife out of her chair.
I'll give you a clue. It's service related.
Is it losing the ability to say the word bill when you enter? Because at the end of the meal, nobody can say, excuse me, can I have the... You have to, excuse me, can I have the...
Unless you're in Spain. No, Spanish for the bill is la cuenta. Yeah? Not as I did when I went over, stood my phrase bit and asked for la queso, which is cheese. And he's like, queso, everybody? I go, yeah, pay for everybody. Queso around. Queso. Dump. For f***'s sake.
Worst place to cry.
Is it from your ears?
I imagine a bad place to cry would be a photo me booth. You get your passport photos done. 'Cause every time you went to a country, you had to go.
OK, worst place to cry.
Antarctica.
What, a job interview?
Correct answer, Justin Moore. Yeah, the worst place to cry is at a job interview. That's according to the survey. But in my experience, it is definitely during sex, especially if the sex is during a job interview.
Stop looking at me like that. I just thought you'd join in.
Less buffalo soldier and more sort of buffalo seizure.
X Factor?
Have you been talking about X Factor? What's been going on X Factor? Tell me everything.
There's been the bullying with Misha and whoever else she was doing it with.
It's Misha B, isn't it?
Yeah, Misha B, you get me. I love Misha B, though.
You love Misha B?
Yeah, I don't think it was bullying. I think it was just showbiz banter. She was meant to be bullying Sammy.
Sammy,
but Sammy said she wasn't. Sammy said, look, I'm 6'2", 20 stone.
Who said this?
Sammy.
Could you say that again, please?
Yeah, Sammy.
Sorry, who was it?
Look, if you want me to spit at you, I said Sammy. I said Sammy.
Ironic that we're talking about bullying as I do this. Say Sammy again, I like it.
Sammy. So, all that...
I should just say, because I was teasing you a little bit there, if you're being bullied because you've got a speech impediment, there are people you can talk to. But it will take ages and they may be
But Sammy said on This Morning, said she weren't bullying me. Look, I can handle myself. Look at me. I'm 6'2", whatever, with the heels on, I think that is. If she's 6'2" without heels, that's a worry. No wonder she took her shoes off when she done the final song on X Factor. Because, honestly, getting excited when you're 6'2" in a bad pair of heels is awful. I would have bullied her as well in that dress. Because, really, I mean, going out there in that... Did you see it? It had that, like, sort of leather bit in the middle, which wasn't right. I know she can't, you know, you can blame the stylist for that. But anyway, so apparently...
Here's some full stops if you want to use them.
So Sammy's saying they weren't bullying anyone, but Misha's being accused of bullying, which is, you know, it's a serious thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I personally don't. I think that it should have stayed backstage. I don't think it should have been brought up front. Do you know what I mean? It should have stayed back... Because that's what happens. That's show business, isn't it? I mean, before someone goes out, you say to them, you know, do I look nice? If you're in... You can... I'll get the... Just got on your paper now. I've got a stutter as well.
Now Sean's got to get tested. Back to X Factor.
I personally think it was, like I say, just backstage. If you're in competition with someone and they say, you know, before you go and say, oh, how do I look? You say, like, You know, you want them
He
to
did
feel
do
bad,
that, he
and
did
that's
do
what
that.
I think it is.
Sorry, Joe, he didn't.
He did say that.
He was right that time, wasn't he?
So I don't know. I don't know.
I love the fact that Joe and Louis are on the same team. It's just...
2 peas in a pod. I've been practicing.
Biology teacher, isn't he?
John, Chappie, Alice, what else have people been talking about this week?
Libya is free. No? All right. Well, it's one of those things you get over quite quickly. I was glad on the video to see it was definitely him, because I read in the paper they said that the man they'd shot lived on his own in a house with no electricity. He was living on ready meals, and all he had was a Liverpool FC mug and a signed picture of himself on the wall. And I thought, they've shot John Parrott.
I reckon he asked himself for a picture of himself. Can you imagine that? Oh, can I please have a signed photo of you? Not now, I'm eating. OK, I'll wait. He was that bonkers.
Or if he was
That's
bidding for his own signed photo on eBay.
I bid for his body on eBay. I thought you could. Because he was in this cold meat stall. And everyone was going to take photos with this dead body, and that's like redefining the word fridge magnet.
And it's the ultimate Facebook profile photo. You and a dead Gaddafi going...
When I heard Gaddafi was shot, the first thing I thought about was I wondered what they were going to do with his waxwork model in Madame Tussauds. Because it's really good.
It's just got better as they left it closer to the heater. He had a lot of work done, didn't he?
Yeah.
Would you ever consider going down that road?
Looking like Gaddafi?
Well...
You've had dick, darling, but I ain't been a dictator.
Louis Spencer. You should put that to music. I'm a dick, darling, but I've never been a dictator.
No, I wouldn't. Well, I would.
Well, have you ever had any work done?
Yes.
What have you had done?
Well, no, only Botox.
I've had Botox as well.
Have you?
Yeah, I didn't. I was not on me.
You should get your money back.
I didn't. I didn't have it done.
Oh, do that again? That's extraordinary.
I know. Yeah, I make Ramsey look like Hannah Montana. They had a funeral for him. I like it. They had a funeral and they buried him in the desert, and they said, in respectful of Islamic traditions, which they did. The last time they did that was with Osama. They just kicked him off an aircraft carrier. When they catch Assad, they're going to cover him in Bovril, fire him out of a cannon into a lion's enclosure. Go, well, that is respectful of Islamic traditions. That's what they do.
We're really missing a trick by... Because I don't think... There was a point when we hadn't caught any of them, and now, like, Hussein and Bin Laden... And I think if we had them all, you'd just make an amazing Big Brother to end on. Unbelievable. Osama is in the dairy room. Saddam Hussein is on the beanbags. Trying to fundamentalise Kerry Couture.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
OK?
Yeah.
OK, do you want to sit down now?
I couldn't see from there, that's why.
I know, yeah.
No, not at all, no. But here's your related question. Most people think being a bad dancer is more embarrassing than being bad at sport. True or false?
I'm brilliant at both. I couldn't tell you if I'm a better dancer or a better footballer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just outstanding at both.
What form of dance suits your moves best?
I can only dance to reggae. It's like an affliction. If it starts, I just dance, and I can only stop if someone turns it down.
Yeah. It just sort of wrestles you to the ground.
Yeah. But I'm stronger than I look, so I get up.
So when you watch, let's say, Cheryl Cole in a dance video, do you think, oh, she's absolutely nailed that, or do you think, oh, no? Because we wouldn't know the difference.
I mean, Jerry Halliwell wasn't very good at all. When I was on tour with the Spice Girls, she weren't good.
You were on tour with the Spice Girls? Which one were you, Sporty?
No. No, I was all of them.
Because you've changed your hair, but you look better now, you look more feminine.
And I got bigger tits.
Oh, that's genuinely confusing.
Can you get milk out of those, Louis?
Yeah, I'll put your dick in.
Literally my favourite guest. Literally my favourite guest we ever have. Oh.
Anyone any whiskey?
I don't understand what's happening.
You don't understand what's happening?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's happening, Joe.
Stop looking at me like that. I just thought you'd join in.
That's Buffalo Soldier and more sort of Buffalo Seizure.
OK, so let's get an answer on this question. Most people think being a bad dancer is more embarrassing than being bad at sport. True or false? What do you think?
I think it's probably true.
You think it's true? OK. What do you think, John?
Well, there's no such thing as dance, is there, really?
What, sorry?
It's just arrogant walking, isn't it?
I challenge you! You know what, Louis? I'll stick on some music, go over there, give him what for. Yeah, show him.
Paris. Yeah, Paris Hilton. Paris was put in jail for drink driving. Then she was released after 3 days. And then she got put back in jail again when the judge found out that she got out. So she's not best pleased. She's been on hunger strike as well for 25 years. Well,
she's taking that seriously.
Yes, she is.
She got out for psychological reasons, didn't she?
Yeah, I
Won't
think...
let her out, and then they put her back.
I think she got out of prison. She managed to do it because she was depressed.
Yeah.
Which is extraordinary, because no one's elated.
It's incredible, actually. There's nobody who feels sorry for her, do they?
Is that how you get out of prison, if you're depressed?
Yeah. If you don't like it, they go, oh, come on then.
With the drink driving thing, she claimed she didn't know she was banned from driving because someone else opens her post. She's too lazy to look at it herself.
I got pulled up for speeding, and he thought I'd stolen the car because I had a northern accent. And he asked me when I'd bought the car, I told him I didn't know. He asked me when I'd passed my test, I told him I didn't know. He asked me what the insurance cost, I said I don't know. And to my eternal shame, I said, I have somebody who does that for me.
You've changed, Johnny.
I know.
Have you got a PA, Johnny?
She's more of a best friend that I pay to run my life. And she dresses me.
I don't think of anything worse than being your PA. 2 o'clock in the morning. I want a wagon wheel. Like, oh,
That's the Apprentice show I want to see. Come and work for Johnny Vegas. They all left on the first day.
Every morning, 4 o'clock, she gets a call. I've started another fire.
You've got kids, haven't you?
Yeah, I was at my daughter's 3rd birthday yesterday.
You went to that, that's nice, yeah? Well done.
Just remember. But I think now a bit of, you know, rough and tumble, a few bashes.
So you chuck them out of trees and...
No, but a few bashes. My daughter was in a full body plaster cast quite recently for 3 months.
What the hell did you do to her?
Well, whatever her daughter did, she won't be doing it again.
It was really hard carrying her around because she was solid.
I would have thought that'd be easier.
Like a Solvite baby.
No, it wasn't anything too serious, was it?
Yeah, her leg.
Anything too serious? She's a full body cast, man.
I like the people who are carrying a sturgeon.
Catfish.
It's a what's worse question. According to statistics, what's more risky, fishing or horse riding?
Well, horse riding is much more dangerous, isn't it?
You're going horses?
This is more dangerous because when you fall off horses, you can only fall in the riverbank, which is by rights near the edge, so not as deep as the middle, so you should be able to get out.
No one's ever tried fishing at sea, have they?
Oh, you didn't say that, did you? You didn't say that. Not all fishing. Of course fishing's more dangerous if you're in a trawler. Oh, now.
I think I said fishing or horse
No,
riding.
You said fishing like it's fishing. You didn't go fishing like commercial.
All right, let me do it again,
huge,
Sean.
big Russian ships. I mean, of course fishing's worse than horse riding. You're living out in a trawler in the North Sea. Force 9, you've got no chance.
All right, what's more dangerous? Fishing or horse riding? What is more dangerous?
Yes, thank you. Let's start again. Well, I think it's horse riding.
Final answer?
No, it's obviously fishing. If you're including all fishing, do you think I'm stupid?
I can tell you that fishing is riskier. Yeah, you're 6 times more likely to die fishing than you are horse riding, and the chances increase dramatically if you're a fish. Jason, Johnny and Danny, what picture do you fancy answering a question on?
That's number 3.
Number 3 represents hospitals.
That's not a real person. He's sick. He's made of plastic.
Look at Jimmy's hair. He might be a relative. He looks very smart.
Let's go for President Bush.
OK, you picked George Bush. It was reported this week the President of the United States had his watch stolen in Albania. It's incredible, isn't it? Legend. We polled our studio audience and asked them, if you found George Bush's watch, would you give it back to him or put it on eBay? Which way do you think they voted?
He's had his watch stolen.
He's had his watch stolen,
He's had his watch stolen, as they say, he could have taken his watch off.
He could not on his own.
Yeah.
We never figure that out.
But that's quite rude if he's taken his watch off. Is that saying he doesn't trust the Albanian people? That'd be a very rude thing to do. Before you met some people, you could just go, actually, before I shake your hand, I must remove this, because you're a thieving bastard.
I've had a watch stolen, and it's not nice. I was walking home, and these 2 lads got me from behind, right? Not like in the biblical sense. They attacked me. They attacked me from behind, and I was on the floor, and one of them, as they walked off, because they went, "Oh, give us your money or we'll beat you up," and I gave them the money, and then they beat me up, and you're like, "Oh, we had a deal, you bastard." And I was on the floor, and one of them goes, as they walked off, one of them went, "Hey, get his watch, don't forget his watch." And he rolled up my sleeve. I had a Casio Illuminator, right? Brilliant watch, right? Sells the time in 3 different countries, right? It's England, Scotland, Wales, but it's all right, right? It's brilliant, right? And he looked at me watch, rolled the sleeve up, he saw it, he went, "Nah, sack it," and just walked off. I was like, "You'll fucking take it, you cheeky." This is an audience poll, then. You've asked.
Yeah, we've asked the studio audience this evening, would they return the watch or would they sell it on eBay?
I'd say they put it on eBay, the
You think they put it on eBay? OK. Well, I can tell you that a massive 85% of our studio audience voted to put it on eBay. So, Jason, you get the point. Well done. George Bush has stolen an election, invaded a country on false pretences, tortured, lied and not signed the Kyoto Agreement. But now his watch has been stolen. If you're watching Karma, make an effort. 41% of women drivers would rather hit a motorcycle courier than a rabbit. What do you think?
I'm fully comp, so I don't care what I hit, really. I'll take the Pope out, doesn't matter. It's not a dilemma most women face on a regular basis, is it?
Well...
Have you ever been careering in the car?
Yeah.
You've been a motorcycle courier and a rabbit.
Yeah, and then you go on the basis of size, because the bigger thing you don't want to hit, do you?
So you're not really bothered about the moral dilemma of, like, killing a human or a rabbit? No, that's interesting.
Did they have a question as well? Would you hit a rabbit? And the woman went, "No." What would you hit? Motorcycle courier?
It's a bit offensive to women, isn't it? In a way, it's like saying, "Oh, you don't really like hitting bunnies, do you?" Is it? Do you not find that a bit sexist?
Well, yeah.
No, I just think it's limited in the choice of things you could hit.
Would you, speaking as a woman driver, you'd like more of an array of things to hit? Vic, what would you rather hit?
If it was a big rabbit, I'd go straight for it. What's the other option? A curry?
I'd like to go through Longleat at 90. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Can I just do a survey for my own personal...
Yes, of course, Vic.
Now, I've got 20 rabbits in my garden and they're eating me lettuces. Hands up who thinks I should shoot them. Not enough people. So it's the poison then.
Top luxury that men want in their house.
A perfumed, underlit stallion.
It's not in the top 10.
Porn.
Porn?
Porn.
As the luxury in their house. A window into Danny Dyer's world. It's a luxurious house.
No, I mean, good bit of porn, you know, right, good bit.
Is it a Fabergé egg? Just like
Look at the two guys on your team. Yeah? And imagine how much they both want a Fabergé egg. Johnny would eat eight.
Next time. Enchanted talking furniture. like Beauty and the Beast, and when you bring a woman back, they convince her not to leave.
He's the new face of DFS.
I don't really like Formula One, and I tend not to really like people who like Formula One. If I meet someone they like Formula One, I don't know, we just don't seem to get on. You know? In fact, what I do now, if I meet someone, I just go, meow. And if their eyes light up, I'll go, I'll see you later, mate. We just don't connect. I don't connect with people who like Formula One. I don't really get it. I'd get as much pleasure if you put two washing machines side by side, put them on the same cycle, see which one finished first.
What else are Vanessa be talking about?
The election in the United States, it's really do or die because it's Barack Obama, who's awesome, and John McCain, who's horrifying, and even more horrifying, his running mate, Sarah Palin. She is everything gross about a pageant contestant, but without the desire for, like, world peace.
Let's be honest, she's a MILF, right? Let's be honest, right? She's not central again, I forget. Mothers I'd like to fondle.
You're such a good boy.
I'm just that sort of guy.
I like the fact she's pro-life and pro-guns, which to me sounds like someone who's a butcher and they're also a vet. I'm sorry. We've lost this one. Get the other bag. This week, Colin Powell came out in support of Barack Obama, didn't he? Which was quite unusual because Barack's a Democrat and Colin's a Republican. So...
Sarah Palin, isn't it? That's her name,
yeah,
the woman. Yeah. The more right-wing she gets, the more attractive I'm starting to find her. Is that wrong? Like a sexy Hitler.
Isn't a sexy Hitler you, Jimmy?
I do not really get the joke.
Do you really find her attractive, though?
No, truly.
People say they find her attractive, but I think it would be like sticking your dick into a swirling vortex of hate.
That's what I want in a wife. I'm so into the election, I'm Sky Plus in the debates.
Yeah. I think a lot of the politics, James, is going over your head, though.
I'm very happy about Obama's victory. Change we need was their slogan. It's quite vague. I can't help but think they stole that from the homeless. Don't you agree?
I went to a fundraiser for Barack Obama, and it was really exciting because it was in Los Angeles, and it was really like a who's who, and I could walk right up to him. You know, this was like a year ago, and I wanted to think of a smart question, you know, so I go up to him and I'm like, Senator Obama, when you were a student in Boston, did you encounter any racism? And he said something really interesting. He said, I'm Kanye West.
That was a fly.
Look, it's landed on my finger. Catch that.
Get it.
Because the last time that happened on this show, you never caught it on camera. And it's the second time in my life that a fly has landed on my finger, and it's always been on this show, Vic. And it's always been the finger that I shoved up Jimmy's arse before the show saying, please let us win.
Is it these extreme marathon people who suffered extreme weather? You know?
What was that, Christian?
I can't bear this story. I had to do it on Sunday night, you know.
Yeah?
Well, it's your job reading the news. We all read the papers because we enjoy them. I can't bear this story. I had to read out what happened. Oh, they're running and then it rained. I hate it. Jon Snow gets all the good stories. I hate it.
You hear mountain marathon and you think, oh, you know, it's a bunch of athletes running up a hill. It's a bunch of old people hobbling up mountains. And then when we did the stories about how they were all washed away and didn't know what they were doing and got lost, they then got angry with us and saying, oh, no, you were making it up and we were all fine. And these stupid people, I just want to say to them, don't waste my time. I have had it with your stupid antics. The next time there's a weather storm, just don't call us.
A bunch of very healthy people who can have whatever operation they want from the NHS, right? Decide to go out and fucking try and kill themselves and cost us thousands of pounds in helicopter rescues and everything. I've had to drop 4 stone to get a new hip. Not by going up a mountain, I do now. Just by cutting out pastry.
You managed to drop 4 stone by cutting out pastry. How much pastry were you eating?
I slept on a pastry bed.
And ate
I ate it every night. I went to bed in a big pie. I woke up in tears. Yeah, I wept gravy. You know.
I know the petty.
It doesn't sound that far-fetched. I can see your head poking out of the pie. Like you're in a jacuzzi.
It was announced this week that the price of Christmas turkeys is set to rise. So we polled our studio audience and asked them, if you had to make a choice, what would you give up? Christmas dinner or Christmas presents?
Whoever invented Christmas dinner or came up with, I want to shake, I want to kiss his face, right?
Yeah. You don't put any weight on, do you, on Christmas Day?
No.
That's our little, that's our little gift off Jesus.
Fact.
He said, eat as many matchsticks and miniature heroes as you want. It's in the Bible.
I don't like presents.
How do you not like presents?
First thing I say when I open a present, the second thing I say, first thing I say is, keep your seat. Second thing I always say, and I get right up close, say you're my dad and you give me a present, I get right up close, holding the present and go, I hope this isn't my main present.
So your related question is, more people would like to time travel to the 80s than the 60s. Is that true or false?
I know where I'd go back to 1936, Nuremberg, right? And I put a banana skin on the stage. So, totally changed the course of human history. Hitler walks up to give his speech. Millions of Germans going, he's an idiot.
There's other people who would have taken over Hitler's job, though. If to get rid of Hitler, you know, Goebbels would have come in.
Not taking one banana back to 36. when Hitler goes, whoa! And then they go, right, Goebbels, I'll put another one down.
Maybe in the future, a time machine gets invented and you already have done that, and that's how they got the Nazi walk originally. In fact, right? Oh! They go like this. They go. Oh! Oh yeah, no, I remember. There's 6 blokes here. Let's see a chair dancing, right? Who's got the best moves for Sarah, and see which one turns her on.
Yeah, let's definitely start with you.
Let's start with. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good start.
Oh, got a little bit dizzy now. Steve?
Oh, God.
Come on.
I'm going to take a old school...
Sarah's close. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were rubbing a cat.
Is this... Your turn. There he goes.
Quite high in the air.
I've actually been dancing for the whole show, but I've been doing the river dance, so there's no upper body movement whatsoever. The whole show I've been dancing away happily. While you lot have been playing your panel game, I've been throwing shapes under here.
There is a version of this show that goes out in Ireland, which is just Alan's feet.
Very popular it is too, but if you want some upper body stuff, what about that?
You realise whoever wins this, you have to...
Yeah, here we go.
Now the high point, ladies and gentlemen, what you've all been waiting for.
It's just a bit of that.
Oh, nice.
Not too much, you know.
Oh, keep those orderlies away, they're stealing my stuff.
Well, I like to take things slowly, so usually what I do is I start off with...
Did you know, for example, the average amount of money left by the tooth fairy is 88 pence? And that's because she was made bankrupt by Rob Beckett. Yeah, we're going in early. 1 in 5 Brits never carry cash. I'm 100% contactless, and by that I mean lonely. They're quite easy to manipulate, aren't they? Hoovering typically burns around 50 calories, which begs the question, why is your mum so fat? Is it because your house is filthy? Just like your mum. Right, let's get started. Rob's team, who do you think the nation have been talking about?
Greta Thunberg.
Thunberg, the old Thunberg.
Head of climate change.
Yeah, she's sort of in charge of climate change.
I bet her recycling is absolutely on point. I reckon she rinses out the peanut butter jar. That is a tough job. Howard, who bought Crunchy? Are you mad? You just get the jet wash out for that. Marmite, I don't even eat it now because of it. Someone told me off once for drinking out of a plastic bottle because it was single use. And it was, I was in a rush. I was like, you know you shouldn't, but I've got a good get-out-of-jail-free card if someone tells you off. If they go, you shouldn't drink out of that single use, what I say is, it's not single use, because when I finish drinking it, I'm going to shove it right up my arse. And I find that really stops the conversation. They don't want to carry it on.
What's that, a small bottle or one of the larger ones?
2 litre Diet Pepsi.
We're talking about Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. I don't know how we got onto the 2-litre Pepsi up your arse, but I think we went slightly off topic.
Yeah. The thing is, you try and do stuff, but you can't do it. Like now, we have these bottles now, don't we? The reusable bottles. Everyone's got one of these rather than plastic bottles.
I've got so many of those.
Yeah,
I've got hundreds.
Hundreds of them. This one's made in China. I hope they walked it over it.
You know what? I haven't got any kids. I say torch the place.
It so annoyed politicians. People went off at the deep end.
And a lot of, middle-aged white men, I think, got very angry.
Anyone that looked like Gammon was livid. They knew she was right as well, so they had to just go for her.
I haven't seen men of that calibre that angry since Jeremy Clarkson left Top Gear. You heard the people said, whenever she comes on, I'll turn off the television, which is, of course, exactly what she wants.
Outspoken women have been angering men like this since the beginning of time. Like, she's the human equivalent of leaving the landing light on.
What do you think of Greta? Do you like her?
I do like her, especially the fact that she's, at least 500 years old by now. I love it.
There is a theory she's a time traveller because there's a still photo of her. Can we have a look at this photo? It does look remarkably like her.
Oh.
It's something, isn't it? Are you really subscribing to this?
I'm obsessed with this. I watch the show Ancient Aliens religiously, and
When you say religiously, you mean without really thinking about it?
Yeah,
Look, it's very impressive what she's doing at 16. At
Yeah.
16, what was I? I was wanking and eating rustlers, mainly.
I think it's great that she's a young hero, but I worry that she's not getting a normal childhood, the normal teen experiences.
But if you remember your teenage years, do you want that to happen to her?
That's the problem for Greta, though. When you've done all this stuff by 16, she's an incredible woman. How's she going to rebel? Where's she going to go and rebel? She'll start off by going, you know what, I'm just going to put the cardboard in the red recycling bin. Within a year, she'll be having a hog roast with Richard Branson. You can tell that's the only place she's got to go, right?
The problem is, I agree with everything she says, but I don't know what it is. Whenever she speaks, I'm like, oh, fuck off a bit, will ya? I'm trying!
OK, Catherine's team. Who do you think people have been talking about over the last 12 months?
Oh, it's gotta be Boris Johnson. He lies and cheats more than a Kardashian's baby's father. More people liked Boris Johnson than the other one. It is a bit like a popularity contest between Prince Andrew and Piers Morgan, but I've decided I'm gonna be right-wing now. Very right-wing.
You would suit being very
I
right-wing,
look right-wing. I look like
do.
the kind of white woman who would call the police on a child's lemonade stand. I do. It's like, go home.
You'd be great on Fox News.
Thank you, and fuck you.
Do you like our new glorious leader?
He's got a lot of kids, hasn't he? Even he doesn't know quite how many. He says, I want to keep them anonymous. But that entire family, Boris, his dad, the brother, they all look exactly the same. There is not a single primary school in South London where the teacher's not going, Oh, yeah. I think...
Well, Rich, look no further.
I only found out recently that his full name, it's Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. He's a man with more middle names than morals. He pretends to be bumbling, but he's really sinister. Like when he did the Love Actually thing, where he went to that woman's door and knocked and was like, please vote for me, I'm a good guy. I was like, if Love Actually was like a Tory Love Actually, like a Brexit Love Actually, it'd be terrible. It'd be like that first scene at the airport where everyone's crying, but instead of arrivals, it's departures. Like Sajid Javid would have this maid that learned English for 8 months and then he'd still deport her.
Boris, he's so posh, he sounds like an old motorbike. But when he talks, like...
Like father, like son.
I bet he's quality on a stag do, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Boris turns up, here we go. Come on, dicks out, pants down, come on, lads. Game on my stag do, which my dad made us do, which was called Flip Cup Dicks Out. Where, you know, have you ever played Flip Cup? Where you get a cup on the edge of the table, and you do that and you have to land it down on the top like that, right? Basically, if your team lost the race, you had to get your dicks out. And then you had to go down the slide in this swimming pool with your dick out.
You're in a swimming pool?
Yeah.
What are you doing at Centre Parks with your dick out?
Playing Flip Cup Dicks Out. Flip
Cup
And then my dad won and he still got his dick out and jumped in the pool.
Oh, my God. You saw your dad's penis?
It was cold, so not really.
I cannot believe you've seen Boris Johnson's penis. That is amazing.
Let's have a look and see if he's up there.
Of course he is, dirty bastard.
Yeah.
Yes, Boris Johnson. In with a bullet. Boris gave the Conservatives their biggest ever majority, which was lucky, because if there's one thing the Conservatives can't stand, it's minorities.
Quite interesting extents they've gone to, this massive borrowing to get us out of this recession. And I think rather than borrowing money, what the government should do, we should sell stuff. You know, you sell, like the Isle of Wight. Sell that.
We don't give a if we've got the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, sell it.
Sell it.
Sell it.
Yeah. Sell it.
Presumably there'll be people watching this in the Isle of Wight going,
Why don't they just, you know, when we've got comic relief, instead of giving it away, just keep it.
It reminds me of, like, about a month ago, I was in McDonald's, right? And I was buying Are you saying it because I'm fat or because it's so bad?
Because it's so bad.
Right, OK. The world I live in at the moment is so... I'm not joking. It is more acceptable for me to talk to my friends about smoking crack and taking coke than it is... Because you go to people on cards, you hear my mates going... I did, like, so much MDMA and cocaine last night. Some people go, oh, yeah. Someone goes, I had a cheeseburger. So they go, no, you didn't. How can you put that crap in your system? So I was just buying a fillet of fish, right? And the guy said to me, do you want fries with that? And I said, no, just the burger, thanks. And he went, the thing is, if you buy the fries, it is a bit more money, but you get the fries.
James, did you get the fries?
Of course I did.
Good man.
Is it the tasers? The police have been issued with tasers.
Yeah. But only 30,000 of them have got them. Not every policeman's going to carry one. And then you know there's going to be some police like coming home and their wife going, did you get one?
Some of the critics are saying that they could be really harmful for people with weak hearts. And I just thought, well, people with weak hearts really need to start being better behaved, don't they?
The main problem with it is after you've been shot with them for 6 months, you've got a bubble perm. These courtrooms look like Liverpool in the 80s.
Apparently, there's a guy, it's his job to test him. I mean, literally, they test him on him, and he's been tasered 200 times. That's got to be the shittest job in the world. So, what do you do for a living? Was that Welsh?
Is it this silly story in the paper about Gordon Ramsay and this woman? The only proof we've got is that they were in the same hotel at the same time, right? And I was once in the same hotel as Boyzone, but I wasn't... I mean, I tried it on with a gay one, but I didn't, you know, I didn't get anywhere, that's what I'm saying. But, you know, the papers keep saying a source close to the, you know, to Gordon, or a source, you know, they can do this thing. There was one of them that said they went in the room and a source said they had sex. Now, that can only be one of two people, can't it? Unless they're interviewing the curtains.
The problem is, it's Gordon Ramsay. It's Gordon Ramsay, and he's near sources all the time.
I mean, my tip, I think, is if you're going to have an affair, don't do it with someone who literally wrote the book on having an affair. You know, she writes books about it. She had an affair with Jeffrey Archer. You wouldn't get in the car with someone who wrote a book on how to kill a passenger. You know what I mean?
I'm doing his cook-along show tomorrow. So,
Are you going to say anything? Can you say anything?
Am I going to say anything? Am I going to mention no? Busy week?
Let's have a look and see whether Gordon Ramsay is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story. Gordon Ramsay has been accused of having an affair. Ramsay was caught red-handed. He was making a beetroot salad. 63% of women avoid exercise because they think it makes them look stupid.
Yeah.
True or false?
Jimmy, can I just point out that when they cut your shot up, the only words in that are "look stupid" above your head.
You like doing it, Sophie?
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah.
You love it.
She can do the splits.
Can you do the splits?
I can do the splits. Yeah.
Will you do the splits?
I will do the splits for you if you want.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to go outside. Can you actually do the splits?
I've not. Yeah, I have. I've not.
Oh my God!
I can do this, look.
OK, 63% of women avoid exercise because they think it makes them look stupid.
The government should hire Steve Jones to go around schools saying to 13-year-old girls, I will like you a
Whoa,
lot
stop
more.
there, Gabby. I got in a lot of trouble doing that before. I'm not going back that place.
It was announced this week that the price of Christmas turkeys is set to rise. So we polled our studio audience and asked them, if you had to make a choice, what would you give up? Christmas dinner or Christmas presents?
Whoever invented Christmas dinner or came up with, I want to shake, I want to kiss his face, right?
Yeah.
You don't put any weight on, do you, on Christmas Day?
No.
That's our little.
Fact.
That's our little gift off Jesus.
Fact.
He said, eat as many matchsticks and miniature heroes as you want. It's in the Bible.
I don't like presents.
How do you not like presents?
First thing I say when I open a present, after... Well, the second thing I say... First thing I say is, keep your seat. Second thing I always say, and I get right up close, say you're my dad and you give me a present, I get right up close, holding the present and go, I hope this isn't my main present.
I was relieved when Father Christmas wasn't real. I remember going home and speaking to Dad, going, Dad, is Father Christmas real? And he said, no, it's not real. I remember thinking, God, because I remember thinking, how is everyone all right with this guy just coming in our house? Yeah. We spend all year, like, Mum going, what was that? Was that someone coming in? Malcolm, you've locked that door, haven't you? The back door's locked, isn't it? Yeah. And then suddenly, one night of the year, we're going, yeah, there's a carrot, a pie, some milk. Yeah. Help yourself, we'll be in bed. Just have free run of the house. I remember thinking, this is insane. Make sure you go in and leave a present at the end of James's bed. I'm all right, Mum. Leave it downstairs under the tree.
That does look like a large turkey. What would you say? Would you guess that weight that turkey is?
Not actually one of the questions we've got.
Well, the brilliant thing about this game is, we'll never know. I'm going to invent a machine that you can weigh things in photographs. You take photographs, something like that big camera thing there.
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling it for people at home. This is filmed in the studio. So you photograph it, and then you put it into my machine, my weighing things in photographs machine. It goes. It calculates it, and then it gives you a weight. It's
The only problem with that is that you have then eradicated the guess the weight game at Fates.
Yeah.
You've ended it. You've killed it. If you're happy with... If you can live with that, if you can sleep at night, then you carry on with your fangled machine. Next, you've got a camera, you take a picture of it, and it guesses how many sweets are in a jar. You take a picture of a teddy, it tells you the name.
I'm glad
you are killing Fates.
I'm an evil genius.
You are.
OK, so what do you think people would give up? Steve Jones, Christmas dinner or Christmas presents?
John, could you invent a machine that would give us both?
What? So
Dinner
I could
and
reverse the
presents.
polarity of this question?
Yes.
I need a pair of pliers, a battery and some salmon.
Don't ask.
It's set to work immediately.
What would you go for?
But this machine is going to take a while.
Back it up! Back it up! No, the blue one, you idiot! All right, try it with haddock.
Sean Locke saves Christmas. OK, so what do you think? Christmas presents?
I think
This
people would
or-
rather give up dinner.
Me too.
Yes.
And we think the opposite.
Whoa, hold on. hey, listen, I know you were like a little renegade on Countdown. Do what you want in that corner with the numbers, but right here, there's a system, and there's
I didn't
rules.
take the pin out.
And I'm the bloody captain.
Surely the Pope.
This is a huge story, isn't it?
Well, the Pope sort of woke up on Monday and thought, oh, God, got to go to work.
Well, in fairness, he doesn't have to be at work till Sunday.
Well,
That's not true, because the week that's in it, I think he had to write 1 million Valentine's cards to all the nuns.
God was not happy at all about this, was he?
No, did you see the lightning bolt?
So this is a picture of the Vatican 12 hours after the Pope resigned.
If the church had any sense, they would have a news story after that saying there was a nun in there doing some paperwork and she's pregnant now.
Why do the popes always start old?
Well, they're talking about the Ghanaian Cardinal Peter Turkson being the next Pope. That's him with Chris Huhne there. You can see Chris Huhne's asking him to take a few points for him.
What I want to know is, if we're going to have a black Pope, when are we going to have a black Queen? No talk of a black Queen, is there?
Keep an eye on Kate Middleton.
Yeah.
That's her. But I'm
I don't know what that means.
Explain that one. Well, I'm saying maybe her baby is going to be black because it's probably not.
The Queen's not elected, is it? No, that's a serious answer.
Yeah, but that's what makes it weird that people choose the Pope. Shouldn't it be someone who something magical has happened to? You know, like you got Jesus, like he was the guy because, you know, you knew... No, I'm just saying, you know that he was chosen by God because he'd done magic things. It should more, you know...
So you think, what, Paul Daniels? Who are you? Let's have a look and see if the Pope's up there. Yes, the Pope's resigned. Yes, the Pope has resigned. He's going to be difficult to replace. Where are we going to find another paedophile apologist who's also a Nazi? OK.
Can I just do a little disclaimer? Can we just make sure we don't put the bit about me talking about she might have a black baby? I'm really scared of the royal family.
Are you genuinely scared of the royal family?
I'm just scared that they can kill you, they can organise.
Once a decade, they do one of their own. They don't go outside the family.
If Kate Middleton has a white baby, they'll just ignore you. If she has a black baby, they'll have their own problems to deal with. There'll be a lot of questions to ask.
The
The main worry is not if it's black, it's whether it's ginger. That's the main worry. That's the thing everyone's worried about.
I feel much better now because, like, more of us have said stuff now, so at least...
Sean, Jamelia, Paul, what else have the nation been talking about?
Well, there's been this business in North Korea with their successful nuclear test.
They're trying to build a nuclear warhead small enough to go on a missile, basically.
Okay.
So they've miniaturised it. It has a range of 1,000 kilometres, so it could hit Japan or China, but not the US or UK. So if you're watching North Korea, you. Now, if you had access to a nuclear weapon, John, what would you bomb?
I don't think I'd bomb anyone, because then the threat's gone. I'd just carry it around with me. I'm like that.
I'm going to check in on the news now. News. Christian, do you think North Korea are a serious threat, or are they laughable?
Well, who knows? They've got nuclear weapons, and they are ruled by a sort of a slightly crazy guy who's got being a psychopath running in the family. So you might say they're a threat. On the other hand, the only people who've used nuclear weapons are the United States.
Unusual for a newsreader, because that sounds there's a bit of bias in there.
No.
You did say he's a psychopath, his dad. You wouldn't say that on Channel 4 News. You go, and we've news about the nuclear test in North Korea from Kim Jong-un, whose dad we all know.
Yes.
You would not do that on the news, would you?
I'm not on the news.
So that's going to turn out bad.
Have you not,
Run for your life!
OK, well, we were talking about North Korea. I can tell you that's not one of the most talked about things this week. But North Korea has caused outrage after carrying out nuclear weapons tests. The test was executed perfectly, as were all the people who criticised it. Johnstein, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Well, it's been Valentine's Day, hasn't it? I imagine people are talking about love and all that stuff.
Who did you send a Valentine to?
I didn't, no. I view Valentine's Day like the Polish food aisle of a supermarket. I don't really know what it's for, but I like to look at it.
I've been thinking, because they've been talking about different gifts you can give people on Valentine's Day, and the worst gift, apparently, is petrol station flowers. But then how do you know they're petrol station flowers? I mean, you can't actually... unless, of course, they've all been mangled through that night hatch. But that's how they've gone through. But also, it gets a bad press, the petrol station flowers, because if you buy flowers in a florist, there's no petrol, or packets of Maltesers, or anything. So actually, I would rather receive petrol station flowers from someone, because then I would know that I had a discerning lover who shopped at flexible shops.
Valentine's Day, I think, is just too much pressure, and it's for uninventive people. Everyone gives red roses and chocolates. It's like, think of something yourself. Like, do something a little bit more creative. Like, to me,
I tried
just
that.
so...
I tried that, but it backfired.
Yeah, because it's rubbish.
What did you try, Sean?
I made a card for my wife/girlfriend lodger, and I made it myself, and she didn't like it.
That's sweet, though. No, that's...
Yeah, but I do.
better.
So what it is, I cut a picture of a heart out of a cigarette packet.
Creative. Would you describe yourself as a tech addict, yes or no?
Well, I don't feel I have to answer that question, and I'm shutting your butt down. I've asked that question before, and I don't see what you've got a right to talk about. I've said all I want to say on that subject.
But do you think about it? But do you think the tech...
I'm not your...
Would you describe
I'm not your slave, and you're not my master.
Would you describe yourself as a tech addict? No, but would you describe yourself as a tech addict? OK. Are you obsessed by technology?
I would have said I was a tech addict. I've been a tech addict all my life, but I'm now getting to this point where everyone is a tech addict, and I'm finding it slightly repellent.
My feeling is that we've lost what I call shite talk, which is where 10 years ago an entire evening of conversation could be based around an easily verifiable untrue fact. You know, somebody like, do you remember when Wesley Snipes was in Grange Hill? Yeah, I think I do. And I was just like, not true. Hashtag I'm so lonely.
What annoys me is I think people have lost is just the ability to look out of a window on a train. People can't. They sit there looking at old text messages, conversations you've had in the past, because you can't bear to think for a second. Like old people didn't do. They didn't get on a bus with a shoebox full of letters.
I mean, it's all well and good with the fancy things, but to be honest, I got a new Hoover recently with a spectacularly fast cable recoil on it. You know what I mean? And because all of that sort of technology just exists in the realm of wizardry, but then you put your foot on this, yoink, and you're like, future, I like it. I do aspire to once being trapped somewhere with just the Hoover, and then I'd get the plug end, and I'd fire it up like that, and then just hit the button, hold on to it, and
It's interesting the way they invented that was that someone who was hoovering, needed to get out of there fast. There's a situation where they're hoovering and think, I better get out of here. Bang! We're gone.
Did you know, for example, there are 759 pubs in Britain called the Red Lion? My favourite is the Red Lion. An eighth of all liposuction patients are now in a bin round the back of the hospital. And in Sweden, an average of 10 car crashes a day involve the death of a moose, which is why the Swedes are such a good-looking race. Let's get started. What do you like the look of?
What do you like the look of?
I like the man that's had 2 arms put on.
The man with the arms.
It's been announced that the world's first double arm transplant is recovering well, so we polled our studio audience and asked them, if you lost an arm, would you rather have a robotic arm or someone else's as a replacement?
This is the guy he had in Germany, didn't he? He had 2 arms transplanted on.
But didn't he lose his arms in a shredder?
Yeah, he's a farmer.
Yeah, how do you lose 2 arms? Like, did one arm go in and you go, oh, I better get that back. Oh, now look what I've done.
Wouldn't it be a bit like sawing a leg off a chair? Like he lost a few fingers and then he thought that doesn't even out, so I'll just shove a bit more of this arm in.
Guy, when he recovers, he can do things like he can just go bang, hit someone in the face.
Not
go,
me.
Not me. Wasn't my arm. Bang, the guy was a nutter.
God, I find it so strange if I was going out with a guy and he was, you know, getting a bit busy, romancing, and he just said, you know, these aren't my hands.
What if, though, Olivia, he was getting busy in the bedroom, you're getting a bit amorous, things are getting heated, he pulls away, the arm stays. The alternative for this guy, as opposed to getting someone else's arms, robotic arms.
If I did get a robot arm, I'd want it not to be just like a claw, like an Abu Hansa. I'd want it to have, like, Swiss Army knife functions. I'd like a bottle opener, a corkscrew.
He wants a frying pan there and a whisk.
So, we polled the audience, we asked them, would you rather have someone else's arm or a robotic arm? What do you think they said? What are you going to go with?
I think people would like a real arm.
You think real?
Yeah.
No, because robotic works right away, but I'll take real if that's what you two want.
Real.
You're overruling your team.
Yeah.
OK, I can tell you 75% of our audience said they wanted a robotic arm. If I lost both my arms, I'd probably just shrug it off. Jason, Charlie and Olivia, what do you like the look of?
We'll go with the Scouts.
OK, you're going with the Scouts? This week it was announced that the Scouts are to be given sex education, so we polled the studio audience and asked them, should they be given sex education?
Maybe it's being taught ironically, like, if you weren't in the Scouts, this is what you'd be having, you know what I mean? This is what the kids your age are doing while you're, you know, making fires and crying yourself to sleep in a tent.
This is what you could have won.
We're looking forward to seeing the first Scout with a fingering badge.
I used to be in the Scouts. In the handbook, they used to say, because Baden-Powell didn't approve of sex, that wasn't what... Baden-Powell's the guy who invented Scouts, in case you're missing it. And he said, if you feel like having sex, put your genitals in cold water and walk it off.
And then come to my room?
Yeah.
OK. We polled the studio audience and asked them, should the Scouts be given sex education?
Yes.
I think they look like a modern bunch.
OK, well, I can tell you that you're absolutely right. 81% of our audience think that the Scouts should be given sexual education. So, Scouts, in summary, a man has a gingang goody 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 watcher and it produces gingang goo, gingang goo. I hope you enjoyed those clips. If you want to watch full episodes of 8 out of 10 Cats, then you can on my YouTube channel. Just, search for it on YouTube and you'll find it, because it's there.